class full of characters with super massive attacks with an ultra blow it all, blow up lives damage, and also a defense part that is quite glorious. Friends, let's try. As I always say, there are so many great characters in this class. We are going to try to get the top 5 best characters to take to rank 4 of this class. Because friends is not one. From simple, it is not simple. The truth is, it is not easy to take these top 5 characters to rank 4. So let's see which for me are these best characters to take to rank 4. In this case, we start with top number 5. In this case, are you seeing that I don't even have it uploaded with ISO because I was lucky enough to be getting it this cyber weekend, and we are talking about a gentle character. How can you tell me you are giving this character a top 5? Well, friends, gentle is a beast on the attack. That you can already watch the video. Well, you can see all the analysis videos that most of what I'm saying in this top are included in those videos. So we have analysis of this character. As you will see, he is a piece of beast that is simple to get maximum damage, but also with a very different gameplay. Because if we reach 12 muscle loads and a super attack, we are going to have advantageous self-injury. Then it is advisable to throw him with 11 muscle mass. And then here also, because it is so much 5, because it has been discovered to me that gentle is a character pretty good on defense. I remind you that this character has an improvement. It is called strengthening, which what it does is that the blows have much less damage when they are given to gentle. Therefore, that makes the garden and scratch fights quite a few seconds. So gentle becomes both a massive damage and pretty strong defense character thanks to that buff upgrade. So for me, gentle in the future, I will surely take it to rank 4 because it is a piece of beast both in attack and defense, which is why I tell you separately it becomes unstoppable. Each certain combos has disadvantages of discouragement, and on top of that, it has the ability of fear that basically makes the attacks unblockable. Since friends do not act on my people is a quite key piece in these mutants, and the truth is that I feel that it is quite covered, both its ability to attack and its ability to defend. Okay? We enter the top 4 friends to bring the character to rank 4. And in this case, I am rising to a good character. I have selected a character for me. It is one of the best that we also have in the mutant class. We're talking about the mighty Daffler, an absurd beast. It has totally crazy damage, quite unique gameplay that is quite, well, so to speak, fast. Okay, ultimately what we have to be doing with Daffler is try to intercept or even hit, keep the hit strong with that one. The flicker ability that the character has, and with that we will load some loads of sound. When we reach a certain sound load, we will look at super attack 2 and we can throw it away. But folks, here comes the rather novel ability this character has. Every time we throw a super attack 1, super attack 2, a series of character races will be performed. If we click on the screen at the exact moment it throws these super attacks, with that we will be able to do great damage, and we will also load more musical loads. But nevertheless, if we do it with Super Attack 2, we will make efficiency unblockable and fury. Therefore, we will do an absolute damage that bursts the life of any defender. So, for me, the other is very gross damage in a very short time, and it requires being in rank 4 to have full access to that piece of damage that the other has in defense. It's a little less usable, okay, in the end. Dattler focuses much more on attack, and in defense he is a little more disposable. Even so, if they put it in some unlockable node, or you have to stay close as you touch that super attack 2, with unlockable you can consider yourself dead. So for me, Dattler, you have this top 4 left to bring it to rank. For friends, we start with the top 3. The top 3 is a piece of character that in the end perhaps many of you do not have. But in this case, I remind you that the character is already quite accessible. I remember that not long ago we had an event to be able to select the character of rights, and in this case, well, I selected Mr. Sinister to give him more ability. Singular. We are talking about Mr. Sinister, a dive that was, if I remember correctly, the first saga, not the second or third saga. I don't remember what the arcade game saga was. I think it was in which this was the chase saga. a character we saw that the dive they did to him was totally crazy. They turned him into a defensive character, pulling down into a piece of both offensive and defensive character. Mr. Sinister unleashes his attack spectacularly, holding still, holding the blow strong. We will carry hemorrhages on Mr. Sinister, to which we are immune. So, well, we're going to be regenerating. Thank you. If you have the masters activated, okay? Then once we throw the super attack 1 with the maximum bleeding loads, which if I don't remember are 10 or 11 at most, we are going to be triggered by generation in the opponent. I remind you that the generation is a disadvantage to which there are very few immune in the game. Therefore, Mr. Sinister, for this very reason, becomes a Gothier of this class. And then, friends, we must not be, since forgetting his defensive capacity, any critical blow that hits him, we have Mr. Sinister, or we tip Mr. Sinister. He's going to be healing a certain amount, which makes his survival in defense total nonsense, a total beast, Mr. Sinister. For me, he's a pretty good character, which is what I am using in almost all the missions lately. The goal is also quite fast in Battle Euros, and on top of that, he can use you both as defense and attack, because the same thing remains in this top 3. Top 2 Friends is going to be sung a lot by everyone. Surely no one will be discussing it, but we are putting Jim Gray at top 2. Jim Gray is a character that is exclusive to the Crystal Titan right now. If I remember correctly, he is a character who is very good both in attack and defense. You have seen him a lot as I have been using him in attack. In the videos, you have analysis on the channel in case you want to see it. It has a force due to ultramassive degeneration. It also has a characteristic, right? The game is that basically the more neuroshock the opponent has, if we throw a strong blow, we are going to be consuming them, and with that, our power bars are going to go because they are becoming smaller. Therefore, super attack 1 goes from half, super attack 2 looks like half. What does this do? Well, let's get to super attack 2 much easier, which is basically how you unleash all the damage with this character. Bing Gray is an absolute beast. I am in love with this character. And then in the defense is that it is not bad at all. It is that it is very, very good. I remind you that there is a character who is Invisible Woman, who has a kind of shield that can simply be removed. Well, hitting her or putting her at a disadvantage. Poe in Gray has this. At the beginning of the fight, in those alliances, we will have to do very but very little damage to this character. Then you have to lower his shield to do him real damage. When you take that shield off him, he'll go back into cooling and he'll go back in. That shield therefore means Jim Gray has very few windows to do him totally real harm. You have to have specific counters so that Jim Gray can lower it quickly. That is why Jingle becomes the top 2 of this mutant class to take it to rank 4. And finally, friends, the rank top 1, you already know what it is. We are talking about nothing more and nothing less than Orslot has attack prestige, he has defense, the whole character has it. I remind you that this one came out in December the 23rd and is a somewhat old character, but even so, Kavan is releasing more and more and more counters, in which, well, Orla always continues to develop spectacularly. So we already know the difficulty that this character has in defense and in attack, how he does through those that degeneration, that pause from neuroshocks and degeneration, how he literally shatters the lives of any attacker, veil, or defender, then outlaw. For me, it will always be the top 1 to rise to, because apart from that, it also has the prestige part, which we are going to see right now. With the infographic, and friends, you are already seeing it on screen. In the infographic, you are seeing the top 5 that we just saw in the games, which are Oslat, Jing Gray, Mr. Se, Mr. Tatler, and Gentle. But friends too, since we don't have to be talking about prestige, why did I say just a few seconds ago that Oslas deserves top 1? Well, because it is a defensive attack and because it is the top 2 in prestige. In the end, as I always say, prestige changes the game, and the more prestige you have, the more rewards you are going to be getting. Therefore, Oslo deserves rank 4 because it is the top of prestige. But if you don't,
If what you want is to continue focusing on prestige, you have Danny Monster. Danny Monster is the top 10 prestige. Therefore, if you want to have maximum prestige, you must raise this character to rank 4 before. For example, Jim Gray, Mr. Sinister, Dander, or Gentle. Unfortunately, so friends, well in this way, would the top mutant characters remain at rank 4?
See you in other videos. Bye bye. And before finishing the video, thank you very much to all of you who are members of the channel, to JP, to Elian Ramirez, and Oscar Salmeron for being VIP Sorry this November 2025. Don't forget to become a channel member via the video description. Thank you all for your support.